Welcome. Today we've gathered to honor National LGBTQ History Month, and our theme, our history will never be erased. This is a photo op in case you guys are wondering. Okay. And now we're starting our program with City Commissioner Tootie Thomas, who will be giving us a blessing for the land we stand on. Commissioner Thomas.
Good morning, everyone. I've had the honor of reading this once a month for the past 4 years as part of the San Diego Human Relations Commission beginning of our meetings, and it's absolutely important that we hold space for our Native people, and also to acknowledge that we were part of that community also. So we are all, this is all of our land. I would like you to join with me with the Kanapkuan Coalition Land Acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Kumeyaay people are the original inhabitants and caretakers of these lands, now known as San Diego. Despite the attempted genocide and the ongoing impacts of colonization, the Kumeyaay spirit remains unbroken, and their traditions continue to thrive as they carry the memories of their ancestors who bravely resisted cultural erasure and fought to protect their land and way of life. In honoring their legacy, we pledge to uphold their cultural heritage and fight with the right to safeguard their sacred connection to the land for future generations. With gratitude and strength, we stand with the Kumeyaay, embracing the past while forging a brighter tomorrow.
That was special guest Cher. And now we have our award-winning San Diego Gay Men's Chorus, who also sang at the White House. Let me hear a ah. I knew you were impressed.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's hear it for the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus and their new director, Steve Malloy. Hey, welcome to San Diego. A community, indeed a movement that does not know where it came from or whose shoulders it stands on, doesn't really know where it's going. Now more than ever, while there are those who are trying to change the history of our nation, even downplaying black slavery and the treatment of our indigenous people, and the struggles and the contributions of our people, our color communities, as well as the LGBTQ community, trying to erase from history books, schools, museums, and archives, even those in our nation's capital. Exhibits like this are more important than ever. We indeed thank the main person who is responsible for these ongoing exhibits of San Diego's diverse communities, military, and faith. Our city's hardworking city clerk, Diane J.S. Fuentes. Where are you? So we want to thank you. She has to go as our hardworking clerk has so much work, so we want to thank you on behalf of everyone involved in this.
Thank you so much.
Very good. These are indeed some of the most troubling times for the LGBT community, as they are absolutely erasing and changing even what we call ourselves in our names, and absolutely targeting our transgender community to be totally erased. My main message to my LGBTQA plus community is that we must all, every single one of us, register to vote and vote. And now more than ever, we must support our San Diego LGBT Community Center, North County Center, and South Bay Center. We must start making the Lambda Archives as well as our San Diego History Center a priority in our support. And while we are proud that this is National LGBT History Month, we are also proud to share it with another community because it is also National Filipino History Month. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Which today at 6 p.m. at our City Council's chambers, the Human Relations Commission will be honoring 4 outstanding Filipino citizens. The San Diego LGBT Historic Task Force and our all-volunteer committee would like again to thank our city clerk who's on her way. Also, 2 of our hardest working committee members who at times worked on this project almost 24 hours a day, Bob Lay and Bob Lehman. If they could come up. Bob's very shy, both of them. The ones with the military medals is the most butch one, though.
You've been talking to my husband?
Yep.
Hold it up for a second, boss.
These guys work, the whole committee worked very hard. This definitely took a village, and with the help of the Lambda Archives and the San Diego History. But these guys were absolutely. Now it's indeed my honor. That's the shortest speech I've ever given, Todd. I'm in its territory now. I have to be very afraid. Now it is my honor to introduce an historic San Diegan, all as in his own, the first elected and re-elected mayor of color and from the LGBT community, the pride of our community, the 37th elected mayor of San Diego, Mayor Todd Gloria.
Nicole, thank you for that, Commissioner Murray Ramirez. Thank you for that introduction. I'm trying to look at all the material that he left behind here on the podium. It's okay, we have environmental services are here, and they will take care of business if we need to. Thank you, Franklin. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to City Hall. Thank you all for being here this morning. Nicole is always kind and generous with introductions, but we have a host of city luminaries who are all here. But I want to particularly acknowledge the presence of our city attorney, Heather Ferbert, who is here, keeping us all legal, reducing the liability and the exposure. We have our city council president who is here, Joe LaCava. Joe, thank you for being here, a great ally of our community. And you'll be hearing shortly from Dr. Jennifer Campbell, our representative from District 2, a proud member of our community. Dr. Jen, thank you for being here. And you're saying, but wait, where's Whitburn? And you're 100% right. Unfortunately, Stephen was not able to be here. He's representing us on a trade delegation to Mexico City, where he's working on key issues around the Tijuana River Valley and trying to clean up that environmental catastrophe that's going on there, as well as promoting additional transportation opportunities at our border to try and drive down border wait times, clean our air, and make life a little bit easier for folks in our region. So I hope you'll forgive his lack of presence. It's not that he didn't want to be here. As you know, he shows up time and time again. I also would say to Tootie, who is one of our city commissioners. Tootie's been a long-serving commissioner and a great representative of our community. Thank you for getting up early. Thank you for looking fabulous. Nicole didn't quite hit the mark this morning, but you did. I appreciate the effort. And there'll be other folks. Nicole will give them all plaques and certificates. But the city clerk did have to go to a meeting. But I want you to know, Deanna Fuentes cares deeply about public access to information, about her role as our city's archivist, keeping all of our history together. And this is where this came from. And she doesn't get any extra budget for doing this. In fact, this probably costs her money. But this is how committed she is to making sure that City Hall is open, transparent, and welcoming to the general public. She had to go to an important meeting, but let me just tell you, she is a really, really great city clerk, and I'll take some little credit. She was on my staff for a number of years, and she was an absolute dynamo when she was working in my office. I had no surprise when she was appointed by the city council, our city clerk. Let me just, well, hold on, I didn't do Nicole yet, sorry. Nicole, what's there to say about Nicole, right? For the record, I was here on time. Nicole also was, though, and that's remarkable, and a historic event for LGBT History Month that Nicole would be here on time. And we kid each other because we both love each other. I am deeply grateful to Nicole and Nicole's generation of activists who were not well embraced by this nation, who in many cases didn't get to politely march the streets, but had to knock down doors. And when you know Nicole, and if you get on Nicole's wrong side, you understand that's not a good place to be, but you recognize that we would not be standing here today if it wasn't for people like Nicole, who were not willing to take no for an answer, who were willing to go in uncomfortable places and willing to do the hard work of making sure that our community advanced. And here we are many years later, and Nicole is still doing the work. And I think we all are grateful for Nicole's activism over these many decades, and now the curation of the history of our community, because as he said, a community doesn't know where it's been, doesn't know where it's going. I believe that wholeheartedly, and Nicole is probably at the tip of the spear when it comes to making sure that we don't forget where we were, particularly in light of the fact that right now, I think many of us are afraid that we're backsliding, so people like Nicole are more important than ever. Nicole, thank you for all you do for San Diego and for all of us. Forgive me, I noticed La Mesa City Councilmember Lauren Casares is here, and also a member of our community. Lauren, thank you for bringing some East County down here to City Hall this morning. So, not so quickly, but thank you all for being here. Thank you to the Lambda Archives, to the LGBT Historic Task Force, and for the Center and the San Diego Museum Council for making this exhibit possible. The theme, as Nicole noted, is our history will never be erased. And while I think even a few years ago we couldn't imagine needing to state that explicitly, I think the last number of months have reminded us that we absolutely need to assert ourselves and say that we are not going anywhere, that no matter what the political winds may shift, we will be a community that is always going to be a part of this city, because we always have been. When we say that we're America's finest city, I want to be explicit in saying we are that in part because of our LGBTQ plus citizenry. Residents who contribute in every facet of this community. We have a lot of city workers who are here who are members of the LGBT community in every department, making a difference, waking up every day, trying to move this city forward. We are integral to our city and its success, and we're not going anywhere. And the fact that we can have an exhibit to educate our fellow residents about the contributions of this community, I think, are truly important. And so I want to be here today to simply say that San Diego is a welcoming community. We understand that we're made stronger, better, because of our diversity, because of our inclusion, and because of our efforts increasingly around equity, led by members of the City Council like Council President LaCava, to say that we will continue to be that regardless of where the winds flow. That even if it's difficult, we will stand up for members of our community in the way that we're doing currently for our immigrant community. We will do that for our LGBTQ plus community. And I would say that this is not, this temporary exhibit is here for the month because that is the month that we are in. But I want to remind members of this community that we are doing our best all over the city to make sure that our imprint on this community is never lost. And I think of the great pride, and these were all ideas from Nicole, for the establishment of the nation's first Harvey Milk Street was in San Diego, not in San Francisco, but in San Diego, in reference to the fact that Harvey Milk, Supervisor Milks, served in the military, in the Navy, and he was stationed here in San Diego. So his history is very much a part of our city's history. And then we worked with many of our business owners in the Hillcrest community to establish our Pride flag a number of years ago. It flies over Hillcrest every single day, and that is something that is great pride. And if you go out there right now, you'll see the construction of the Pride Promenade is underway. It'll be done next year, and that will be a wonderful new place for convening, for starting our Pride Parade, for coming together to celebrate our wins and to mourn our losses. That will be a new public facility that will be opening in 2026. And lastly, I appreciate that. Thank you. And lastly, in this theme of history, and probably most significantly, is the action by the City Council not that long ago to establish our LGBTQ plus cultural district. We are one of the first in the country to do this, and this is so very important because as we have made our gains, as we have become more equal and more just as a city, state, and nation, one of the dividends of that is that we feel more comfortable living and operating anywhere. Lauren's serving openly and proudly in East County. That's amazing. That's wonderful. And while we celebrate that, we must never, ever forget where our home and the heart of our community is, which is in Hillcrest. And so having that cultural district says that decades and decades from now, when Nicole is still here, never going to go away. It's never going to happen. And we don't want that. People will know that the LGBTQ plus community's heart is in Hillcrest. And people will understand why the Pride Parade happens there, why our marches happen there, why our community celebrations happen there, that the businesses that are integral to knocking down the doors of discrimination, businesses like our bars that need our support now more than ever, will understand why they're in that community. And so many, many decades from now, to the extent that the next mayor of Santee is a member of the LGBT community, that will be an amazing accomplishment, but we'll know where our home was. And so this city is dedicated to preserving this history, and you're a part of that today with this display here at City Hall, and we could not be more proud to do that. So again, Nicole, and to your committee, thank you for making this possible. Thank you all for being down here, and to the men's chorus. I'm assuming that was a previous administration that you sang at the White House for, yes? Yeah, okay, just in case anyone was wondering, in case you were confused. And then to our city employees here, particularly our out employees, thank you for what you do. Thank you for being present and visible in our departments, helping to make sure that what I feel at the top of this organization, saying that we're a welcoming, supportive, and inclusive city organization, you're living that out every day in departments all across the city, and you have my immense gratitude, appreciation, respect, and most importantly, pride. Thank you all very much for being here this morning.
Thank you for your kind words. I want you to all take a picture of Todd because tomorrow morning he's going to be on a milk carton missing. But he does have enough police officers around. Though I was going to introduce our esteemed elected officials, there's also some other distinguished guests here. And one of them is Nicole Verdes. Where are you, Nicole? She is director of Lambda Archives, which, what is it, over 40 years now? Over 40 years, can you imagine, trying to keep our history alive and gathering things. It's not an easy thing to work for at the archives, getting all this stuff, and we really appreciate you and your board and staff's work. We also have our new interim director of San Diego Pride. Where are you? Madonna. Oh, Madonna. We absolutely wish you the very best. And then, we also have our deputy city attorney. We should acknowledge her, Nicole Crosby. Where are you, Nicole? There you are. All right, moving right along. She's become quite an activist, and it makes an impact not only in our LGBT community, but our Latino community. Please welcome the Chief Impact Officer of the San Diego LGBT Community Center, Gloria Cruz. She's not here? Ay Dios. Okay. Or something, okay, I hope nothing happened to her.
Good morning. Gloria was not able to join us this morning, but she sent me her speech. And if you bear with me, let me find it. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Carolina. I do work for the center, but I'm speaking for the rest of it from Gloria. It's an honor to stand here today at the San Diego City Hall during LGBT History Month, a time to reflect on the courage, resilience, and brilliance of our LGBTQ plus community. The San Diego LGBT Community Center began humbly, just as an answering machine in a borrowed closet in 1972. But even then, it was a lifeline and beacon of hope. Today, the center is one of the largest and most vibrant LGBTQ plus community centers in the country. And this last year, we provided over 100,000 service visits, a 20% increase from the previous year, and an all-time record for the center. We stand on the shoulders of visionaries like Bernie Michaels, Jess Jessup, Patricia Byers, and others who formed the original planning committee for the center in 1971, as well as Nicole Murray Ramirez, Franco Guillen, Teresa Hoyos, Larry Baza, who helped in the formation of our historic Latino services program at the center over 20 years ago. From our early days in Golden Hills to our current home on Center Street in the heart of Hillcrest, the center has evolved to meet the needs of our community. We have launched programs like Hillcrest and South Bay Youth Centers, Project Trans, 50 and Better Together, and dedicated senior services program. We've created a housing continuum to prevent and address homelessness, and now have the largest LGBTQ affirming emergency shelter in California for youth. Through our history, Veterans Wall of Honor, we have honored LGBTQ plus veterans community here in San Diego, where the military plays such an important role in civic life. And as the largest LGBTQ plus organization in our binational border region, we have pioneered services for our Latinx and immigrant community and stood at the border to welcome asylum seekers with dignity and care. And in 2021, we launched one of our most recent additions to the center, our Black Services Program. Each photo you see today tells a story not just of the buildings and milestones, but of people, of Bridget Wilson, Ben Dillingham, and countless others who shaped our movement. Thank you for celebrating with us today. Together we honor the past and shape the future worthy of our legacy. Thank you.
Thank you. And Gloria's book will be out soon. When you're not here, I get a little upset. But I'm sure it was for a good reason. Let me know. Moving right along, let's welcome County Commissioner Bob Lehman, a very proud veteran and a person that is Executive Director of the San Diego Museum Council and is an advocate for LGBTQ veterans. Bob Lehman.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for being here. I'm up here today as a gay Marine and here to celebrate this important exhibit. One that reminds us that history matters and why it must never be forgotten. When I joined the Marine Corps in 1983, being gay and serving your country were two things that couldn't coexist. We wore our uniforms with pride, but we also carried a quiet fear that at any moment someone could end our careers, our dreams, simply for being who we are. For 10 years I served proudly, from Camp Pendleton to the USS Carl Vinson to combat duty during the Persian Gulf War. I earned medals and commendations, but none of them changed the simple truth that LGBT service members had to serve in silence. That's why this exhibit matters. It tells the story of courage, not only in the battlefield, but in the fight to be seen, to be counted, and to serve with honor and authenticity. When Don't Ask, Don't Tell was finally repealed, I was honored to speak at pride celebrations on bases and aboard ships here in San Diego, places that once would have expelled me for standing on that very stage. I especially remember one young transgender sailor who invited me to speak on her ship. After the ceremony, we cut cake, and she was so proud to wear her uniform openly, to serve her country fully. I'll never forget the light in her eyes that day. And yet, today, we see that same right to reserve under attack again, this time aimed at our transgender brothers and sisters, the same fear, the same misinformation, the same efforts to erase people from service, from history, and dignity. That's why exhibits like this are not just displays of the past, but they're acts of resistance. They remind us that freedom is not permanent. It must be defended and over in every generation. We must remain vigilant. We must keep telling these stories, the stories of those who served in silence, those who fought for the right to be seen, and those that are still fighting for that right today. But if we forget our history, we risk repeating it. We fail to speak out. We fail those who come after us. So let this exhibit be more than remembrance. Let it be a call to action, to honor, to educate, and to ensure that every American, gay, straight, trans, or otherwise, can serve with pride, without fear, and with full measure of respect they have earned. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And for your, would the veterans that are here with us today raise your hand so we can thank you for your service to our great nation. Thank you. We only have two more speakers left. I'd like to welcome, you heard her earlier. You know, it's wonderful when I see our community leaders of color that are active not only in the Latino, African American, Asian Pacific Islander community, the Native American, but also on our community. And as Tootie said, that we've been here since the beginning of time before the explorers. That's two-spirited, and it's because the Native Americans have always acknowledged us. So please welcome a very hard-working activist for decades and decades. Ladies and gentlemen, Carolina Ramos.
Buenos días. It wasn't that many decades, by the way. Hoy es el inicio de esta exhibición de la historia de la comunidad LGBT en San Diego. Good morning. Today we opened this exhibit to share our LGBT history in San Diego. Es importante compartir nuestras historias del movimiento LGBT, de nuestras luchas y nuestros logros. Storytelling and sharing our history of our movement and our struggles and our accomplishment is really important. En nuestra comunidad latina también hemos formado parte de la lucha de nuestra comunidad. Oh, I'm sorry, Carla. In our Latino community, we too have been a part of the movement here in San Diego. Hace 40 años se formó un grupo de latinos que se llamaba Orgullo, fundado por Teresa Hoyos y Adán, y luego se formó Sisters Involved. Over 40 years ago, the Latino LGBT community came together to create a group called Orgullo, which means pride. And out of that evolved a women's group called Sisters Involved, which was a group that formed to help and raise money for other organizations, especially in our HIV community. Se empezó a hacer trabajo binacional y empezaron las noches latinas en los clubs y se empezó a formar colaboración nacional de personas LGBT latinas. Binational work started with our sister country, Mexico, and Latino nights at local bars started, as well as coalitions on a national level to form coalitions from all over the country in San Diego and across the border through Llegó National. El movimiento LGBT latino no empezó para separarnos, pero para celebrar nuestro idioma y cultura, a nuestra manera y con sazón. The Latino LGBT movement was not to separate us, but to celebrate our language, our culture, our way, with our flavor. Como comunidad latina, hemos participado en tantas contribuciones para el movimiento de nuestras compañeras latinas, migrantes y aliados. I forgot to write the English part, sorry. As a Latino community, we have participated and contribute to the movement with our way but also to be inclusive of our Latino community here in San Diego and from across the border. Thank you so much. And as Latinos, we do storytelling. So as you walk through the maze, you can see how important, and storytelling for our community is really important. That's how we keep our culture alive. So this historical event is really important for all of us. Thank you.
Let's hear it for our interpreter. She knows more Spanish than I do. I was very impressed. All I know is Yo quiero Taco Bell. All right. Our next speaker, who's going to introduce our hardworking committee, I always say, and it does take a village. She's another person that we're very proud of, very active, involved in the African American community and the LGBT community. She's vice chair of the city's Human Relations Commission, Ricky Brown.
Good morning, everyone. It's truly an honor to recognize the members of our LGBTQ History Month Committee, a group of passionate leaders whose dedication reflects the heart and soul of our diverse community. Each of them represents the strength of diversity, the power of unity, and the ongoing journey toward equality and inclusion. These tireless efforts have made this celebration possible and continue to inspire hope, pride, and progress for us all. We are proud to acknowledge the incredible contributions of Nicole Murray Ramirez, Bob Lehman, Carolina Ramos, Lillian Fetterman, Logan Bredas, Manny Reyes, Randy Reyes, Michael Weiss, Big Mike Phillips, Nicole Verdes, Susan Jester, Tiffany Martin, William Lopez, Bob Lee, and of course, Ricky Brown. Thank you for your leadership, your compassion, and your commitment to ensuring our history and our voices are always seen, heard, and celebrated. Thank you.
Our final speaker, and we saved her for last because we're very proud of her. This is her last term, and she has represented our city and our community and has been proud to be from our community and also the Jewish community. Let's hear it for our city councilwoman, Dr. Jen Campbell.
Thank you, my queen. I hope he's writing a book. Are you writing a memoir?
Kinda.
We want to tell all. We have the stories.
When I'm dead.
I promise we won't publish it till you're under the ground, but I'll probably be there before you, but I'll pass it on. All right, so as a member of the Stonewall generation, and thank you, Ricky Brown, for all your words as well, and everybody who's spoken. It's just fabulous. I'm going to be very short because, I'm really a doctor. I'm not really a politician. So as a member of the Stonewall generation, I have witnessed how far we've come. Oh, I could tell you some stories too. But we must remember that progress is never necessarily permanent. In today's political climate, our rights, our dignity, and even our existence, our very existence is under attack. History reminds us that when one community is targeted, others will soon follow, and that we must never retreat in the face of hate toward any group. That's why this year's City Hall exhibit, Our History Will Not Be Erased, is so important. It's more than a theme, it's a promise to those who came before us and a commitment to those who will follow us. Too much progress has been made to give up now. Let's celebrate LGBTQ History Month not only with reflection, but with renewed resolve to protect our progress and continue the fight for equality and justice for ourselves and for all people, as we have always been allies in the other struggles for civil rights in this nation. Because no matter how loud the voices of hate may be, the truth is that we are normal human beings, normal Americans who deserve the same rights as every other person in America. Yes. And with that, I am honored to officially declare, alongside Mayor Gloria, Councilmember Whitburn, we've only been friends for 20 years, and Councilmember Von Wilpert, who just came out a year ago, God bless her, October 15th, 2025 is LGBTQ History Month in the city of San Diego. Yay, San Diego.
3, 2, 1.
Yay!